99.9% of people, if y'all really knew the battles that I had to get through, if y'all really knew everything from a child on up till I'm 23 years old right now, bro, if y'all really knew everything that I had to fight for, everything that I had to survive, everything I had to get through, everything I had to, like, literally fight my way through, 99.9% of people, y'all not getting past. Like, y'all not doing it how I did it, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Y'all not gonna get through. Y'all not getting through it. Y'all be ready to take yourself out instantly. I'm talking about the people that's done you wrong. The people who want to sit up here and act like they don't got an issue with you. Peace, love, light, everybody. It's Marv, just a Prophet 24, signing in for another video. Today it's snowing, so that's why if you see anything like stuck on my locks or anything, it's snowing today, but I don't mind being outside because it reminds me of God's nature. But I just wanted to speak directly to the chosen today. And I don't know when I'm going to put this one out there. I don't know when I'm going to put my next couple videos out there, honestly. But I just wanted to say that being chosen, a lot of people will mistake what you bring and your authenticity for arrogance and thinking that you're better than them. But when in the case, in reality, you've been running from your calling for years. I don't know, some of y'all may be even like decades. You know what I mean? Like, people really run from this because the walk ain't easy. And that's why when people tell me that the chosen are arrogant and that everybody's chosen, you really got to watch for people like that, because it's just spirits behind them trying to trick you into thinking false reality. But when you start seeing everything for what it really is, when you break out the matrix, when you break out the programming, when you break out of the societal norms that everything is trying to keep you stuck in, that's when the journey, I'm not going to say it gets easier, but like, you're going to start to feel the warfare. You know what I mean? You're going to start seeing people for who they really are instead of trying to see the best. You know what I mean? You're not going to just ignore every red flag. You know what I mean? You go through certain type of betrayals, and those betrayals has led you not to be a cold-hearted person, even though you have the right. Not the right, but like, you do have the choice, because God gives us the freedom of choice to start operating in a cold heart. But like, for somebody like me, I don't operate in a cold heart. I'm going to continue to do the will of my Father. And I'm going to continue to drop off these videos. I'm going to continue to, push for everything that's in alignment for the will of my life. You know what I mean? But I'm saying this to say that people will really judge you and monitor you. And people will really try to count or hold you to the past version of yourself, not knowing that you already went through the healing. You already went through well, we still heal every day, but I'm saying, like, you got better than you can clearly see the difference between who you used to be and who you are now. And people that's grown up with you, you may still be stuck in your hometown some type of way, but it be the people closest to you, be certain people in your family, you know what I mean? They will look at you and think that you're better than them, but whole time it's just they're demons. Like, they're just projecting how they actually feel about themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how people can sit here. It's crazy how the chosen, the true prophets, the true prophetess, the true people that's actually trying to operate in their calling, because we want to see everybody go to heaven. We're not sitting here trying to convict somebody each and every day for what they do, because the fact of the matter is, everybody that's chosen, we struggle with things as well. Like, this walk is not easy. It's not easy being a chosen person. You're often isolated. Relationships don't work out. And you start to understand why relationships don't work out, because God is literally your partner. when you're in isolation. God is your partner, bro. God is your partner, sis. Like, that's how you got to look at it. Don't be afraid of being alone, because oftentimes when you're alone, that's the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? That's when the ideas start coming to you. That's when God starts speaking to you and giving you that vision that you can map out and that you can work on or work towards. That's when God starts releasing to you what he has for you, his secrets for his kingdom to you. You know what I mean? That's when you start creating that intimacy with God. That's when, you start seeing the fruit start to bear. All the seeds that I planted in this year of 2024. In 2025, I just want to, see them start to take off and sprout. I declare and decree it over my life, and I declare and decree Psalm 69. Anybody spreading lies about me and my character and about my name, because I went through the smear campaign as well. Like I said, being chosen is not easy. You know what I mean? And it's not like people are out here, oh, we're chosen and we're doing this and we're doing that. And because we're chosen, like, nobody's walking like that if you're truly chosen. And if you're seeing people that's actually like betraying that they're chosen, betraying that they're a prophet, and just, saying it just to say it, then you got to be able to discern that. But like, when you're truly chosen or you're truly a prophet, it's not just about the materialistic success that you have. It's about it's about your fruit that you're able to bear, and that what are people shall know you by your fruit. It's a scripture, bro. It's a scripture. All right. So with all of that being said, I just wanted to get on here and say, I'm watching The Chosen right now, a series on Jesus and the betrayal of his miracles, and how before he came, how everybody was operating, then afterwards how everybody was operating. And I got a couple things to say. I'm only on season 2. I still haven't even finished it, but it's just a little bit mind-blowing. I guess I could say it's mind-blowing to see that the 12 disciples that Jesus chose, they all had flaws. You know what I mean? And on top of that, it was wild making the connections, because, if I'm speaking directly to the chosen, how the hate and the jealousy and the enviness come towards you everywhere. Friends, family, friends. But in this case, I'm seeing how Matthew was a tax collector, and how everybody hated him. And like, everybody hated him because he's holding people to their taxes. You know what I mean? They're not able to pay the debt, and he turns them over to the Romans, and to either be in jail or put to death. You know what I mean? And it was just wild making that connection. That's why Simon Peter, before he had his name changed, he didn't like Matthew as well. But Jesus saw something in Matthew, just like he saw something in Simon. Because before I get into Matthew, Simon had problems with his faith. Simon had problems with not necessarily like believing in Jesus, because he knew Jesus was real, and like he knew everything is real, but like, he was in debt. He was in a lot of debt, and he was doing things to get out of that debt and not showing his trust in our Creator. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until he was literally like on his last leg, he was making deals with the Romans to get out of the debt. And even with his brother Andrew, they was having disagreements about how he was handling things. Even with his wife at the time, they was having disagreements about how Simon was handling things. You know what I mean? But Simon he was a skilled fisherman, so like, he was thinking that he was gonna be able to catch his debt that whole night in the water. You know what I mean? And because that next morning he had to pay his debt, or he was either going to be put to death or be in jail, either or. And that whole night, while he was on the water in the boat, he wasn't able to catch anything. And his wife's 2 brothers came to help him as well, try to catch his debt. And that whole night they came up empty. I'm saying that whole night they came up with nothing. They tried. I'm telling you, Simon is a skilled fisherman. So when I'm telling you these things, just keep that in mind. He's a skilled fisherman, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to fishing. But this night, that whole night, they wasn't able to catch anything. And crazy thing about it is, his brother Andrew, was trying to tell him that the Messiah was here. Was trying to tell him that Jesus was here. You know what I mean? But Simon, he was at a point in time with his faith to where, like, okay, he's here, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not gonna help me overcome the depth that I have, because all he was just focusing on the bad that was going around him instead of the good. You know what I mean? The good was that Jesus is here. Jesus is here to save. Jesus is here to do his miracles. Jesus is here to heal. Jesus is here to shed his blood ultimately so that we can be forgiven for our sins. You know what I mean? So, again, that whole night, they couldn't come up with nothing. Crack of dawn, the morning came. They did it for the last time. All 4 day nets came up empty. And they was like, all right, let's just call it a wrap. You know what I mean? They was trying to come up with ways to give Simon more time so he doesn't get captured over or handed over to the Romans. And when they was headed back to shore, they saw a man preaching. And that man happened to be Jesus. That man happened to be preaching about a parable to the civilians. And it wasn't until they came to shore, Jesus was saying, or Jesus had asked, basically he greeted them. He greeted Simon and Andrew, and Andrew was telling Simon, he was like, no, Simon, you don't understand. He was like, no, that's Jesus. This is what I was trying to tell you about. This is what I was trying to tell you about. You wasn't trying to listen. This is him. This is the Messiah. And Simon was still like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, he was still thinking about his debt, basically. So, Jesus had asked to stand on their boat so everybody, the crowd, could hear them or hear him a little bit better. And because he knew who he was already, because Simon was trying to tell him that he really has to go, because if he gets caught or anything, you know what I mean, or anybody spots him out. And Jesus was basically looked at him and told him, he's like, oh, I already know. But he didn't say anything. He just told him, he's like, I already know, just stay, please. He just please asked him to stay. So he finished teaching his parable, and after he got done with the parable, and he let everybody, sorry y'all, it's a truck coming in, but he let everybody rest and meditate on that parable. And some of them, he knew some of them was going to understand, and he knew some of them was going to have struggling to understand. But that was the point of his parables, is a point for us to understand in a way to where we can trust God and we can trust his word. So yeah, he gets done teaching his parable, and he turns over to Simon, and he was like, Simon, he asked him to cast his net into the water. And Simon, even though his brother was trying to tell him, this is the Messiah, this is Jesus, you know what I mean, like, this is him, this is the dude I saw with John the Baptist and all of that other stuff, Simon was like, you don't understand, I've been trying to do this all night, caught nothing, he's like, you don't understand. He's like, and Jesus just looked at him. He's like Jesus didn't say anything, he just looked at him. And Simon was like, all right, he, out of his obedience, he's gonna listen to this man, and he's gonna cast that net into the water. And when I tell you, the moment he did that, he looked at Jesus, he was like, and Jesus was like, and as soon as Jesus said, that's when the boat, it started shaking and everything. And they was having trouble bringing the fishing net up, because it was so much fish. You know what I mean? It was so much it was a lot. Basically, it might have been all the fish in the sea for real. It might have been. But it was funny because Simon was over there struggling. He's calling out for help to get it up. And his brothers, I think it was his brothers-in-law that came over there and helped him get the nets up and everything. As soon as they got the nets up, they realized how much it was, and it was enough to pay off his debt and then some. Like, it was enough for everything. And as soon as Jesus performed that and helped him out, Simon went over there, got on his knees. He talking about something, man, I'm not, he's like, depart, because I lost faith. You know what I mean? I didn't have faith. He's like, I've been struggling with sin. He basically confessed. And Jesus looked at him. He said, I know. He was like, and that's why I choose you. And when he said that, he's saying, like, I choose you to be one of the 12 disciples. So I'm saying all of this to say, like, every disciple really has a story. Like, they wasn't perfect, but they was chose to do the will of the Father. They was chosen. And they still, even when they was chosen, they still didn't even understand why they was chosen to do the will of his Father. And when every single time they asked Jesus, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? Jesus didn't even give them a direct answer. Jesus just said, watch and see, watch and learn. You know what I mean? Because the best thing you can do is to wait and watch. You know what I mean? Just wait and watch. Just wait on the Lord and watch. So, to my fellow chosen out there, to my fellow chosen, God sees you. In fact, he doesn't just see you. He has you in the palm of his hand. And he knows you're out there. He specifically has you in places wherever the light needs to be. You know what I mean? He has you. It can be as simple as going into the grocery store and everybody starts gravitating towards you because it's something about you. When people start talking to you for no reason, you're thinking in your head like, bro, like, I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you're really chosen, but you don't like being around too many people energy because you feel that you can empathize, especially if you got a lot of empathy, bro. I know you've been betrayed because when people see that, they see you wear your heart on your sleeve, bro, people would think, all right, I can manipulate this dude or I can manipulate this girl into thinking that I really care for them. Whole time they betraying you behind your back, talking crazy about you behind your back, plotting, scheming up ways of what they can do to you or how they can do this to you to make you off yourself, unalive yourself, have you stuck in your head, suicidal thoughts. You know what I mean? Girls are literally plotting, wait until you hit the lowest point in your life. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm speaking directly to the chosen. They will specifically design and wait. Like, they will just constantly eat at your mental, constantly trying to argue with you each and every day to get that reaction out of you each and every day because you're feeding them while it's draining you. This is all spiritual. It's been spiritual. Each and every day you arguing. Each and every day you going back and forth, not knowing what's taking place. You know what I mean? They will specifically wait for you to lose your place. They will specifically wait for you to lose your car. They will specifically wait for you to lose sight of, like, finances inside of your vision. You know, you start operating out not fear, actually out of fear. That's what I'm trying to say. You start operating out of fear instead of the confidence God gave you, instead of the vision God gave you. No matter what's going on, you start focusing on all the bad instead of the good. And girls will literally sit up here and wait because they leeching off of you. This whole time you've done everything for them. You've been there for them at their lowest points of life. You know what I mean? They may have lost a job and they may have thought it was the end of the world, bro. They started taking pills right there in front of you. You trying to get them off that path. You trying to save them, and you have to learn the hard way because let me tell you something. People don't really care. People don't really care about you, bro. People don't really care about you, sis. Like I said, they will specifically wait till you at the lowest point in your life, and that's when they walk out on you. It's like blindsided. You know what I mean? You took some of these people back after they cheated on you. You know what I mean? Because you have the heart to empathize. You know what I mean? You was a baby in your faith back then. Like, yeah, you knew some of the scriptures. Yeah, you was probably raised up in church. You know what I mean? But you didn't understand the magnitude of the spiritual depth. Like, you didn't understand the spiritual aspect of everything. You just understood the physical aspect of everything. What I'm trying to say is, like, when you trauma bond with these people, certain type of people that's plotting and scheming up against you, bro, they're destiny swappers. You're coming up against Ephesians 6:12. For you wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual principalities of this world. I didn't understand that at first, but I understand it now because it's all spiritual. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I said, girls will literally wait till you hit the lowest point in your life, and that's when they walk out on you because they want you stuck. They want you to stay stuck in your head. But what they don't realize is you chosen. I'm speaking to the chosen today. What they don't realize is you have something in you that's going to make room for you for the rest of your life. Once you stop entertaining the thoughts the enemy is trying to flood at you while you heartbroken, and God, don't worry, because God is right there with you with your heart like that. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Oftentimes we can get caught up, and don't get me wrong, but it's men as well. Men can definitely plot because there's men that's narcissists. There's men that's manipulative and with what they're trying to do, you know what I mean? They'll portray this and do a whole different thing, you know what I mean? There's a lot of men that's like that. So I'm not saying this, it's just all one-sided. So don't get that wrong either. But what I'm saying is, you truly chosen. You will start to understand. You will start to wake up to what God what God was showing you the whole time. You know what I mean? I had plenty of time to think about the things I've done, to think about the things that I've tried to do. I tried to save in my own power. You know what I mean? I wanted a specific relationship to work out. If it didn't work out, then where I'm going to go from here. You know what I mean? And then for a certain period of time, I was stuck in my head like that, because that's what Satan, that's exactly what he was trying to do. Keep me stuck. So I wasn't trying to operate in my purpose or in my calling like I'm doing now. You know what I mean? And the more and more you try to sacrifice your flesh for the spirit, the more and more Satan's going to be persistent in sending you satanic agents. He's going to be sending you them Jezebel spirits. He's going to be sending you them Leviathan spirits, man. Come on now, jealousy. He's going to be sending you that envy spirit, that spirit of poverty, that spirit of lack, that spirit of anxiety, that spirit of fear, that spirit of worry. And all of these things is from the enemy. None of it came from God. You know what I mean? That was the last, like the final thing to put the nail in the coffin for you to not operate in your calling. Didn't work. That's what I'm trying to say. It didn't work. You know why it didn't work? Jesus came into your life. Matter of fact, he didn't come into your life. God chose you. He handpicked you. You are a royal priesthood, a peculiar people. Hold on, y'all. Another truck. You have to wake up and realize who you are. Yes, all of us aren't prophets. Like, we're not called to the office of a prophet, but we have the gift of prophecy. You know what I mean? So even if you're not a prophet, you can still prophesy. You know what's going on before it happens. You know what I mean? Your spirit will let you know. That's your intuition. Your spirit starts speaking to you after you go through the things that you need to equip you for everything that you're going to have. Bruh. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You know, and again, I just wanted to say about The Chosen, the show that I'm currently watching. I advise all of you guys that are chosen, you can watch it if you're not chosen, for the called as well. You know what I mean? It's really for everybody, bro. It's on Hulu right now. It's 4 seasons, but they only got 3 seasons on Hulu. I'm on the 2nd season, episode like 5 or 6. I didn't even finish it myself. I'm just saying, like, watching the show, it made me like just think a little bit deeper. Like, imagine you was able to see Jesus perform and heal and do all of these things. And guess what? Even when he was doing all of the miraculous things that he was supposed to do, even when he started healing people, still started healing folk. And what I was going to say is, when Jesus, there was a day in the show where Jesus, he had so many people coming up to him for healing. So many people. They just kept coming. Even disciples, they was over there talking. They was like, they don't understand how he does it. You know what I mean? They don't understand. And then they was still trying to piece together why they was chosen. But the whole time, like, Jesus is literally down there healing people. So when Jesus finally got done, he came, and you can see it took a toll on him. Like, physically, like, he was really tired, like drained almost to the point. And his mom came over there and helped him out, you know, helped him get out his shoes, washed his feet a little bit, you know what I mean, make sure he was cool, and he had to get some rest. That's exactly what we're going to be doing, not in that specific type of way. Some of us, yes, we do got healing spirits, we are able to heal, but some of us, we're going to be called to be casting out demons, you know, casting out spirits and all whatnot, you know what I mean? Even in yourself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you're able to understand how to command spirits and how to like whose authority you're under, which is Jesus Christ, if you're a true believer, then you start understanding that nothing really can mess with you, bro. Yes, they want you to focus on that eviction. Yes, they want you to focus on you don't have a car right now. They want you to focus on your family that's betraying you or that's talking about you. They want you to focus on you being isolated from everybody closest people to you. You know what I mean? That's what the enemy wants you to focus on. But it's a bigger picture. Like, God doesn't do things without intent. There's purpose behind it. He's getting you prepared because you don't know the half. Like, I'm about to say it just like this. You don't know the half that's about to start coming to you for help. You don't know the half. I'm going to say it one more time. That's about to start coming to you for help. And I promise you, if you come across this video, you get this far, save it. Because I promise you, once you start to realize, once you start to recognize, dang, people really do see something. People really do come up to me for help, for advice, for, coaching, certain type of coaching, you know what I mean? Life coaching, whatever you desire to do, you know what I mean? If you pushing out videos for the chosen, continue to do that. You pushing out videos for God's kingdom, continue to do that. Because there is nobody that's going to sit here and stop. And what God has for you, no man can strip away. Man can strip away your house. Man can strip away your car. Man can strip away your children. But what God has for you, no man can strip away. I ain't did a video in so long, I might drop this one right now. But again, and being chosen, again, you got to understand, people are looking for your perfection, but that just shows that they're not true Christians or they're not true believers. Because if people are looking for your perfection, if people are looking for that one flaw that they can try to twist up or manipulate other people into thinking, see, I told you it was something about him, or I told you it was something about her, you know what I mean? Because that's what people are trying to do, or that's what Satan tries to do. He tries to make it seem like you false, you know what I mean? And tries to get the narrative out there that you're not really about what you say you are and all of this other stuff. But whole time, the disciples wasn't perfect. Name a disciple that was perfect. Name one that was perfect. Jesus saw something in every single last disciple, all 12, because they had the Spirit in them, knowing that they will do the will of his Father. So if you're chosen, don't focus on what's not going right in your life. It's designed to be that way, because I promise you, you're going to find a way to do the work, even with everything going on. I promise you, bro. Like, people hate you. This is exactly why people hate you. People hate you because you make things look so easy and effortless. People wouldn't know the half you're going through because you keep a smile on your face. And if you don't keep a smile on your face, because some of us have poker faces for real, but like, the poker faces are not, like, you know what I mean? Because they're not intimidating. But like, if they come off intimidating, then smile. Then smile a little bit more. But like, once you smile, people start to understand, like, oh, nah, he's not really mean, you know what I mean? People get close to you, have a conversation with you. Oh no, it's actually something about him. It's actually something different about him or her, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. Wait on God. Wait on God. You are a peculiar people, a royal priesthood, special possession. Because what God is about to reveal to you, or what God has been revealing to you, is nothing you haven't already known, or what God hasn't already shown. Excuse me. Burp for confirmation. Nothing he already shown you. It's nothing he already shown you. If you struggling so bad in your finances right now, God is trying to show you something, or he's trying to get you to learn the lesson in managing your finances. Because the moment you do that, he can trust you with more. The moment you do that, you will start to see the fruits to bear. You see, it takes discipline. One of the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians is patience. Another one is self-control. Self-control, a lot of discipline has to go in self-control. You need discipline with your eating habits. You need discipline with what you're feeding yourself, how you feeding yourself, and not even just the physical, the spiritual as well. As much as you can feed yourself. And see, we don't need, like, this is another video for another day, but we don't need 3 meals a day. That's what they want y'all to think. That's what they want y'all to, it's programming. They trying to get y'all to eat this nasty stuff, bro. We were made to eat fruit. Take it all the way back to the first story in the Bible. Adam and Eve was in the garden of fruit. They wasn't in a garden. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to. It's not even that, like, I'm trying not to look crazy, but like when I go into full preacher mode, people gonna be like, hold on, ain't you at work? But y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. We weren't made to eat fruit. We wasn't made to eat this processed junk they're trying to feed us every day. There's a reason why they sell all the junk food and all that at reasonable prices instead of the healthy food. The healthy food, $10 and up right now in inflation. That's why I'm saying, like, this is all the Matrix. It's designed for you to stay focused on things out of your control. Whole time, you know your creator will never leave or forsake you. You know we can trust the creator because his word never comes back void. We know we can trust the creator because Psalms 23 says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, I shall not lack. You're not going to lack anything. We don't have to worry about what the enemies are saying because it's designed that way to keep you stuck in your head. The moment you continue to focus on what you're trying to do, you focus on the plan that God gave you, what you're trying to map out, that's when the justice starts coming in. You know what I mean? Because some of us are looking for, wait a minute, this person treated us bad. Like, I'm gonna go back to saying how girls will literally plot and scheme and wait until you at the lowest point of your life to leave you, and they will do that. And then on top of that, they will flip the narrative and start a smear campaign. They wouldn't tell them everything good you did for them, because when you was up one, like they say in this new generation, when you was up one, you was actually helping them out. You was giving them the wisdom they needed. You see what I mean? You gave them the clarity that when they came into your spot, into your space, for all that negativity, you calmed them down. You calmed that spirit down. You know what I mean? You always showed them the glass half full instead of the glass half empty. You know what I mean? They came into your spot depressed, anxiety, drinking alcohol, bringing all of those spirits in, and then you choose to lay down. When you choose to lay down with a person like that, you don't understand what you're doing because you're becoming one flesh. It's all spiritual. I didn't understand all of this. Please tell me I want y'all to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. If I gotta get a certification to show and prove to you guys what I'm talking about, then I would do that. I don't care. But I know for a fact that I don't need any of that to know what I'm talking about. I went through it, and I'm still currently going through it. You know what I mean? We don't need a lot of people. Jesus knew Simon was married. He still chose him because he needed that separation. A lot of us aren't designed to be in relationships. That's what, you know what I mean? That's well, I'm starting to realize, like, a lot of us, yeah, we may want that compassion, but a lot of us chosen ones, like, a lot of people can't live up to the billing. It's too much to bear for them. It's too much light. It's way too much light for them. In a role for somebody for commitment, you really got to get somebody that's on the same wavelength as you, that's on the same frequency as you, that's in the same. It's not just all in the mind. It's not just, oh, they go to church every week and they posting quotes and they posting scriptures. It's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. You need somebody that's actually been through the mud and been through it just like you, because that's the only person that's probably gonna understand where you coming from. Everybody else, you scaring them off, and you're not even doing nothing. They just see it, they visualize it, and then they'll word it into saying something else when you know whole time that it ain't that. But they got to give you something. They got to say something to you, so you guys can go your separate ways. Like I said, Simon, Jesus chose Simon knowing he was married, but Simon had something to do. He had to live his life in purpose. And I'm not saying his relationship stopped after that, but what I'm saying is, being chosen is just you and God. Like this, it's just you and God. It's just you and God. Because the higher you go and you start to look around, you're not going to be able to say, Like, the only thing you're going to be able to say when you get to the other side, or when you transition through finally to the other side in your harvest season, the only thing you're going to be able to say is all praises to the Most High. That's all you're gonna be able to say. Because we're not selfish to take the credit for ourselves. Like, yes, we're putting in the work and we're meeting God halfway with the vision, with the will that He has for our lives. But ultimately, it's for the glory of His kingdom. Ultimately, it's not just for yourself. Like, bro, this is another video. But, the way you think, you really have to transform that. Because everything you do and say God blesses you with that money you've been seeking for so long. If you don't have the heart to where you're giving back and you're not enjoying what you do, then God is just gonna take it. He's just gonna take it right back. He's gonna let certain people come into your life, and you're gonna be too busy helping them. By the time you realize and look up, all that money's gone. You gotta have the right traits and characteristics. You gotta have the right mindset. You gotta have the right mindset. Carrying out the will of our Father. And the moment you understand that everything you're going through is bigger than you, the moment you understand that, it's the moment you realize that your peace can't be taken away from you, no matter what's going on in your life. I'm telling you, you don't think all chosen ones had it rough. And like I said, when I opened up this video, people would think the chosen ones are arrogant. They would think they're coming off prideful or boastful, when it ain't that at all. We just know what we've been through. It's a level of resiliency. You know what I mean? It's levels to this. You see what I mean? Because a lot of people say they want to be chosen, or they say they are chosen. But if you step foot inside of a real chosen one's shoes, you're going to see. I'm telling you, we can give you the blueprint to our lives. And you tell me if you want to live out that life. You want to go through sexual abuse? Huh? You want to go through a narcissistic relationship? Do you want to battle corn, as I should say, because we can't even say that. Do you want to fight with your family? Get betrayed by your family? Get switched up on by your family? Huh? You want to go through the humiliation ritual with friends and family? Even some co-workers? You let me know if you really want to be chosen. Because I promise you, you coming up to me talking about, I want to be chosen. Every chosen person is not going around here being boastful about them being chosen. Like, it's literally laughable. It's literally laughable because you don't understand the depth. Like, you don't understand what you got to go through. It's a burning process. Like, imagine a fire, and you're in that fire. You know how gold is made. You know how diamonds is made. They gotta go through a series of pruning. So you're going to be pruned, basically, like literally from childhood on up. I'm telling you, chosen ones have to map out everything on the go. Like, on the go. We don't get time to sit around and, how we gonna do this and how we gonna do that. No, the moment we start thinking, that's when we start failing. We gotta go when God tells us to go. God tells us to jump. We saying how high. We don't got time for questions. We don't got time to go back and forth in our head. If God is telling you to pray for somebody, pray for that homeless man that's sitting outside that grocery store, then you got to do that. You don't got time to go back and forth in your head, because that's the enemy right there, when you go back and forth in your head. I'm telling you, once you guys start waking up, and next year it's gonna be a lot of people waking up. A lot of people we didn't think would wake up. It's already happening now. Look at Jamie Foxx. So I'm telling you, A lot of people are going to be waking up next year. We're going to start calling out everything for what it is. A lot of people's going, I'm glad we had that narcissist word, because a lot of people get mad for people calling people narcissists. But that's the reality of this generation. The real gets called fake, and the fake gets called real. You gotta have some type of money or some type of car, some type of materialistic aspect to get respect in this generation. And yeah, I said it. I don't care. Whole time, the most wealthiest people, the richest people, miserable behind closed doors, because none of that stuff feed their soul. None of the things they listen to feed their soul. So don't even let the monitoring spirits on social media get to you. I don't know who that's for, but I know it's for somebody, because it's all designed for you to stay in your head. It's all designed for you to not operate in your purpose. God told you to be strong and courageous. He ain't tell you to be cowardly. He ain't tell you to be shy. He ain't tell you to be quiet. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So I didn't want to make this one too long, but the spirit took over, and I'm outside. It's not freezing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I lived here my whole life, so like, honestly, it's not even that bad to me right now. It may look worse than what it is, but like, I love being outside no matter what type of weather it is, honestly. So again, keep your head up, walk into the places that God sent you, like you were sent there for a reason, and continue to live out the will of the Father over our lives, over your life. Because I'm talking to myself as well in these videos, because I'm not arrogant and I'm not prideful. But somebody most definitely tried to say I was prideful in the comment section on YouTube. So that's why I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and make this video. For real. Because we often misunderstood so much by so many people, because they don't understand the depth and the magnitude of our anointing. And I would say it sucked, but it only sucks for them, because when you make it out, when you make it to the land of milk and honey, your harvest season, because trust me, you're going to put in the work, and God going to meet you. God is a God of suddenly. So it can happen at any time, any moment. You go to sleep one night, broke, nothing in your bank account. Wake up the next morning, you get that phone call for the job you always wanted. You know what I mean? You wake up, something's in your bank account. Lump sum of money. I'm not saying it's going to happen for everybody like that. I'm just saying some of us going to get that certification that's going to open up the doors for that generational wealth to hit. It's going to open up the doors for the divine connections to take place. It's going to open up the doors. But at the same time, you got to continue to work on yourself and make sure you're living a life of holiness. Ring out all that sin you still struggle with. For me, it was weed and pornography. Cornography, as I should say. But I am called to speak on these things because I know how hard it is to get out. And I'm making it out the other side. A lot of people thought I was going to stay stuck, and they probably think I'm still stuck. I'm telling you, bro, it be the people in my hometown. But I can't focus on that, and I can't focus on them. That's why I don't be on social media like that. I don't be looking at people's stories, because what is that? It's all designed to keep you stuck in your head. You got to wake up and realize for things what they really is. I'm going to support my brothers for what they do, for sure. But I don't got to do that by watching their stories. You see what I mean? You know who really mess with you when you post your business and post what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. So keep doing that. Keep posting your business. Because I promise you, keep posting your LLC. Whatever you're trying to do. Because I promise you, the seeds you planted in 2024, and I posted a video about the seeds you planted in 2024. All the seeds you planted this past year, God was strengthening you up for where he's about to take you. they're going to sprout next year. Save this video. I promise you. I promise you, brother. Speaking to myself too. Declaring it, decreeing it. On God's timing, the fruit will start to bear. This is Marv, just a prophet. It's always a blessing. Being in the spirit is always a blessing. Getting videos out to y'all. So I don't even mind being out in the cold weather making this video right now, bro. So this my... I almost said this is my prayer. But, you know, why not? Why not pray for you guys? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another day. Thank you for just another day to breathe fresh air. You know, another day to continue to push forward. Thank you for another day of a sound mind. Thank you for allowing me to be the mouthpiece for you to get this out to the people. I pray that it reaches everybody that it needs to reach. And I pray that you touch them in places they need touching and healing, and allow them and reassurance that you are always with them, and allow reassurance that you are always going before them, playing the path, because you have plans to prosper and not to harm us, like it says in Jeremiah. Father God, I pray that you allow the voiceless a voice through me and through your chosen people, your royal priesthood, your special possession throughout next year, throughout the rest of our lives, that we may be able to glorify your kingdom and bring more lost souls back to you, because that's what it's all about, doing the will for you. So help us surrender, help us ring out the sin, help us, Jesus, intercede for us in places we don't have enough strength, even when we don't feel like praying. Intercede for us in prayer, Jesus. We love you. We thank you. Amen. Marv, just a prophet, signing out. Shalom and peace.